Consciousness has no natural enemy. This is all created. The idea of opposing forces. Real as our visual realities do seem, they're created. This is why I've said in the past, there's nothing trying to stop you from ascending. Nothing real. Only what's created in mind. Mooji says, some people will wake up and then transcend the mind, and some people will transcend the mind and then wake up. I like it. This helps me understand a lot. I heard him say this about a month ago, and it helped things click a little more than had been previous. So some people will wake up to these wider experiential realities, and through the course of opening up into and through them, they'll transcend the mind. They'll transcend the territory where the idea of opposing forces, a duality of good and evil, play. And some people will transcend the mind first, right here in this reality. And then they'll wake up to these wider experiential realities. There's no hierarchy that I can see between these two. It's more a matter of, which has the greater potentiality for you, which is serving you the most beneficially in this lifetime. And because they each do exist, I feel it's important that they each do get experienced collectively amongst us all, so that all that's possible can take place. That makes sense to me. So it's a matter of which function we're serving. It's a matter of the space you yourself are holding, the space I'm holding. It's what we're supposed to get clear on. It's a good key point to get clear on. I used to be really saddened in the beginning of my experience, because it seemed to me that the people that I loved and feel a deep connection with weren't doing this with me, weren't waking up with me. And now I see that in many, if not most or all of the cases, these people are simply holding the companion space to what I am. I've woken up to these wider realities, and through this will transcend the mind, and they're simply doing the companion to this. They're transcending the mind and working diligently at this for the whole. And soon they'll wake up to these wider experiential realities that I've come to know and enjoy through my lucid experiences. During the waking up process, one of the ideas that we come across and begin to experience in a bit more depth is the idea of darkness, or a shadow self, as some people will refer to it. from the person, from the conscious mind, the person or personality, perceived layer of experience, what I see is that the shadow self, or darkness, is simply the part of me that's yet unknown. It represents the source, spirit, soul, higher self, layers of being. The superconscious and subconscious. And within the subconscious, or again what some people refer to as the astral, this idea can become even more fractal, splitting off into the idea of a negative polarity, negative entity or self-aspect. So I just sort of want to get clear on that before I move on to this. This morning I was having an OBE, an etheric projection, and at a certain point in the projection, I was with 2 other men and a woman, and then of course myself. One of the men opens this sort of device, and I'm sort of semi-perceiving it as a book. And accidentally, lets through a shadow entity, and he says these words, shadow being, and even just the word, those words just set my guard up, and I couldn't actually see the shadow being, but I was attempting to, and felt it was engulfing these others who I was here with. And while it was occupied with them, I got up and quietly walked away. And I'm walking through this house that we're in, and it was at this point that I realized the house is empty, totally empty. And I'm walking through room to room, looking for a place where I can hide myself. At this point, my lucidity is fluctuating. At some points it's high and I'm fully here. At some points it sinks and I'm more witnessing as a point of consciousness rather than fully embodied. I find a little nook, but I can't get the lights to turn off completely. I can only get them to dim. And I feel the presence of something coming in closer to me, and just close my eyes and mentally say the word faith. You know, I wanted to just not go into fear. I wanted to know what would happen if even a bit more of what is unknown to me merged with me. At this point, everything goes black, the lights go all the way off, and I feel a sensation, a familiar sensation that I've come to associate with being merged with, and I begin to float up. I float up to a ceiling height feeling level, and then my dog Charlie Brown started coughing, and it semi brought me back into the awareness of my room, and I just sort of lingered here in both realities for a moment until I lost the inward shift from the inner location altogether. Prior to this, I was in a dream, a vivid dream, in which I was being given a direct experience. These are fascinating when it happens. In which I was given a direct experience of the importance of coming together into larger, what I will call physically focused groups of energy, so that a larger amount of non-physically focused energy can merge with us. This is really challenging to say because there wasn't so much scenario involved here as it was an inner direct experience. But this is what it was. This is something that I haven't been truly very clear on in the past. It sounds right that coming together in groups and forming larger formations does something. But last night I was getting the direct experience of what this something is. And this something is simply that these larger formations of matter, of, let me put in another word there, of physically focused matter void of negativity separation allows in larger formations of non-physical focused antimatter energy entities, however you want to see this. Absolutely phenomenal. But you know, the antimatter, this is another thing. This is something that we can't see. It fits into the arena of darkness and even shadow beings in a certain way. And allowing what we can't see to merge with us. You know, it's a heart-pounding thing, really. Now, sometimes you know, we have the assistance and it happens a little more easily, and then sometimes we're on our own and having to hold our consciousness open as these non-physically focused energies and entities merge with us, and it is this merging that allows our opening out more fully into the wider reality. So much more I could say here, but I'll pause here.